As a Mormon, this is likely to be a controversial video. The question, is it more moral to believe in God? And my answer is that sometimes it is, but sometimes it might not be. Let me explain. I believe that God is the perfect judge, that God knows someone's heart and their mind, and will judge them in a perfect and merciful way. If someone truly does not believe that God exists, despite exposing themselves to all kinds of information, really trying to study everything out, and they just can't get their brain to believe in God, and believing in God seems wrong, seems incorrect, and attending their religion seems like a bad thing to do, like not a good thing to do, because it's incorrect and it's false and it's wrong, and that person, able to believe those things in that way, feels that it's morally right, or reasons or believes that it's morally right for them to act on what they're able to believe. And in this case, it means leaving religion, possibly despite their family looking down on them and getting upset at them and putting them down, their friends and social groups rejecting them, but they're doing what they feel they know is right and correct. Then, to me, a perfect judge would recognize that they were doing the moral, correct thing and would judge them perfectly for that. You'd say, hey, based on the evidences that I had, based on what I was able to believe, I was not able to believe in God, and therefore the correct moral action would be to conduct myself accordingly. Engage in something like humanism, trying to make the world a better place, trying to be a good human. To me, at least as far as I can tell with my limited knowledge and information, a perfect judge would judge the situation perfectly and find the person righteous. Perhaps more righteous than a person who was afraid that if they studied out things having to do with God, that they might find out that there wasn't a God, and so they didn't research things, didn't look into things, didn't educate themselves, and just sort of went with the flow of what everybody around them believed, and just sort of believed what everybody believed in their social group, and followed the society's path, which was the path of least resistance. And whenever they found something that kind of made them uncomfortable in regards to their beliefs, they just sort of avoid it because that was easier to do than confronting it and facing it and dealing with it. They were less interested in truth and just more interested in sort of just following the crowd. If I was the judge, and I was a perfect judge, the way that I'd perceive a perfect judging on that was that the person was being less moral than the one who really thought things out and tried to do and align their actions with what they believed, even though it was hard. Now, all you atheists here are probably, going to point out and say, this is what I'm doing, and that's what all religious people are doing. But I would like you to consider something, atheists. I just judge you, with my limited ability to judge, as being moral for perhaps doing the things that you do in the way that you do them, and acting on your beliefs and convictions and seeking for truth. Recognize that it may be possible for someone such as I, and many, many others like me, to also have researched these things out, to have had personal experiences that differ from yours, to not have run away from evidence, but to have confronted it, to truly seek to know what is right and then to do it. But we've come to a different conclusion than you based on our experiences and our exposures. The conclusion that we've come to is that there is a God. That's the only thing that we're able to believe based on what we've experienced and what we've been exposed to. And therefore, the only moral action for us moving forward is to behave in a way that's consistent with that belief. To do otherwise would be immoral for us. Just as for you, not being able to believe, behaving and acting like you did believe would be immoral. Not everyone comes to your same conclusions. Not everyone has had the same experiences than you. Some people have had different experiences that you've not had. And these experiences and exposures have caused it for these people to basically be in a position where it's impossible for them not to believe in God. I know that's hard for you to imagine, but this is the situation of some people, including myself. And other religious people too. If you can recognize not everyone has had your same experiences and exposures. And for me, in my situation, I believe that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is of God. I'm not able to believe otherwise based on the experiences that I've had and the exposures that I've had. It would be immoral for me to act contrary to the things that I know are right and true based on my experiences and my exposures, and what I'm ultimately able to believe. But don't worry, I believe that God will judge everyone perfectly and mercifully. This is why I don't worry too much about whether a person is an atheist or whether they're an evangelical Christian or a Hindu or whatever else. Someday, all of us are going to believe in Jesus Christ. And it might be when we stand before him with bended knee after our life is over. But the question here is, were you willing to do what was right and moral based on the information that you had? I believe that there's something inside of all of us that tells us to be a better person, to do unto others as you would have them do unto you, to return kindness for rejection and reviling, to give to the poor, to mourn with those who mourn. These are the teachings of Jesus. And whether you get them from the Bible or you get them by the light of Christ through your own conscience, I don't know that it matters. But what does matter is that you follow and do what is right for you, according to your conscience. And then let God be the judge. If you believe in Christ, do you bring forth the works of a believer? Or are you as a hypocrite who says that he believes, but then does not have his actions in a walk with Christ? If you believe, are you a disciple? Are you striving to follow and keep the sayings of Christ? Or do you say one thing and do another? I think it is very wrong for someone to assume that they're more righteous because of what they're able to believe. What someone's able to believe might have a lot more to do with their social circles, their exposures. But all of us have an opportunity to do what we believe is right. And we know that all of us will be judged perfectly by God. Whether you're an atheist, whether you're Hindu, whether you're a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, whether you're an evangelical Christian, or whatever else.